Hi, welcome back to channel FIFA Mobile. Alright, I'm going to share with you how to get the 3 TOTY players in order to play this challenge. Alright, so this is a new event and I'm all excited about the TOTY. So of course you're going to play all the skill games as well as the 2 matches plus watching the video. And you get players too from the free pack, so please explore that as well. With that, let's go on to getting other 2 more players. And of course, if you are wealthy in terms of gems, you could spend 2,500 to try to get one, but again, there's no guarantee in that context. My advice, don't try that. Alright, first let me just claim some transfer points, which you need it for some transfer of the training points. Do remember to complete your quests, so you have sufficient of those TOTY tokens in order to open those packs that's required to claim the remaining players. But of course, you could also get players along the way when you progress. As I mentioned, you play more, you progress, and with that you will get more players. But unfortunately for me, I think I'm getting some duplicates from here. Do watch this video as well if you really want to move towards the prime icon. But again, I'll explore that later on. More importantly, how to open up that challenge, because in that challenge itself you'll get more of those tokens. So let's quickly move towards that. This comparison here I'm going to share with you in terms of what you intend to do in the tournament. There are differences in terms of the different selections, beginner all the way to legendary. So it depends on how much you want to gain out of this whole tournament. To me, I may go the lazy route, which is getting it through the beginners. I make some comparison here. You can see it's really in terms of world class versus legendary. Not much, probably just 2. In terms of the semi-finals, you see a bit of difference there. So it's up to you. For me, probably go the lazy route. I'll make the auto mode to fight the beginners or even just amateur or whatnot. So as I mentioned earlier, getting players from this reward path, you need to basically be playing, and with that you get more players from there, and hopefully you get 3 different ones. Unfortunately for me, I'm getting duplicates of the 2 same players, so I really need to work hard to get my 3rd player. And getting from the market, I thought it's not worth it. Please do not try that. As long as you progress further in your game, you will have a chance to open this pack, and with that you will have your 3 players already. So do not fret about that. Just go on and play what you need, and after that, with the 3 players, create your own new lineup, and you name it TOTY, so it doesn't mix up with your normal H2H lineup that be really favored with your players there. So this will not be affecting your normal play of VSA or H2H. So in this challenge here, we're aiming to complete all rounds, 3 matches and 2 skill games. I did not really manage to clear the skill game. I'm going to spend 500 gems to get an additional chance in order to clear that. The matches wise, they are not difficult at all. You could actually easily win those matches, all 3 matches, of course provided you have a high OVR at the start, and put in the 3 players, substitute it out with your good players. So that's the gist of it. So of course I'm going to go through this with you. The first game itself, which is the match itself, you'll get really easy, which is against the Real Madrid. You don't really have to fret much because it starts with a very long duration of the whole match. You will also starting with a very fair 0-0 kind of scoring. So the whole experience in this TOTY, it seems like it's made simple, so it's not that tough after all. Unlike the previous ones that we played, we still have some challenge in that. So in this match, you can see here, very easily you could score more than 10 goals. That as well, it contributes to its one of the quests, which is score I think 30 goals. So please try your best to get more goals out of all these matches, so you can attain more out of the quest. There are of course 2 sets of quests. One is on a daily basis, and the other one is on a weekly basis. So you just to make sure you meet those requests. Do spread out in claiming those packs, because I believe somewhat they will be related to your daily quest as well. Going to take a big concern in that context, but that's it. With the first day of this event, you get more and more familiar along the way. So with this, I believe once we are done with this, there won't be a chance to repeat to earn another 56 tokens. So this is one chance only. I'm hoping in a way we're getting this every day, and then we'll get sufficient of those tokens to claim hopefully a good prime icon. But I've heard the fact that the prime icon is not so easy. It seems like for free to play especially, it will take quite a lot of gems on effort. So let's see how we move on to the next one. This is easy. Again, it's just a normal skill game that we're very familiar with. Just aimed for the bottom 4 and you can get it through. Of course, when the balls bounce a bit, it just goes up. That's perfectly fine as well. Likewise for the quarterfinals, not tough at all. Although you're fighting against the champion of the World Cup, Argentina. Again, disadvantaged by 0-1, but no big deal at all, because you can see from the gameplay, it is fairly easy. The mode is not extreme or even hard. I would say it's just normal or easy. So don't be afraid with the fact that this is the champion of the FIFA, so World Cup itself. Alright, so just make sure you do your best and get these matches done. You will face a bit of roadblock in the skill game. I face it. Apparently I find it's a bit as usual. I think EA is trying to make things difficult, so it doesn't really allows you to go through smoothly. But of course you need to be careful. I think I was just being careless, thinking that it's so easy in terms of the skill games and matches played so far, so I wasn't really paying attention while I paid that price of having to spend 500 gems because of not paying attention. So I'll come to that, which is after this match, which is the skill game. Of course, I'm not going to share you too much in terms of the failure, but rather the success in getting that settled out, because end of the day, that skill game is about timing, timing of when you want to hit the targets and avoiding those barriers. But of course, that being said, sometimes it's a bit programmed, but nonetheless, try your best. As long as you are careful, I think you should get it across. Don't be as careless as me. So that's it. Once you are done with all these matches and skill games, you get 56 tokens. Do not rush to claim any. I'll urge you not to do the exchange first. We'll monitor along the way on how we can progress in this TOTY. And of course, I'm trying to do another video later on, which is how to actually get that 7 wins. In one of the quests, I think it's a weekly quest, you need to get 7 wins from either H2H, which is definitely very frustrating, because all H2H matches are rigged. The other mode, of course, you can get 7 wins is through the automated play, which is under the manager mode. So I've experimented a few methods in getting the manager mode done. So I'm going to share you later in terms of my setting in the manager mode. So if you're really interested, you could set the same manager mode, and hopefully that allows you to clear that 7 matches by autoplay in the manager mode. But of course, all things being said, sometimes depends on luck, and of course, more importantly, it depends on the team members you have. High OVR is still the key to it. Alright, so this is the careless paid the price of 500 gems, and here being very careful, I'm gonna clear this. Alright, try to clear the center ones and the sides. The top ones seems easier than the lower part because they're not affected by the barrels. Then I clear the sides. Alright, so just make sure you aim it. Frustrated, you're gonna click the obstacle. So alright, so that's being done. We come towards the final match itself. The final match again, order is disadvantaged by 0-1, 30 minutes into the game. No issue at all. You should be fine. Just put in your best players as usual. Substitute out those TOTY low OVR players. It's very smooth sailing for you. You have been playing this not for the first time, so definitely these matches are no problem for you. But of course, you have your first time playing FIFA Mobile. This may be a bit of challenging because you're getting used to the controls and whatnot, and you may not have those high OVR players. The good thing is about the price of these players in the market right now. They are relatively cheap compared to what we've been paying earlier, about maybe 60 million or so. Now I think they are dropping like flies into the 20s or even lower. So you're able to grab a good number of those players. But that said, you'll be saying that, oh, 20 million, that's a lot. Yes, that's a lot too. But nonetheless, it's so much cheaper, almost a third of the price we were paying previously when we started in getting those players. The newcomers, you really have to just keep on drilling in terms of getting those coins. Just remember this when you do training of your players. I'll urge you not to do for those low OVR players, because this season here FIFA is doing EA is doing a bad job, not FIFA, in getting those training points transfer requirement. So if that's the in that context, you are stuck with the fact that you have, let's say, upgraded a low OVR player all the way 30, and then it will waste off all your transfer points just to transfer that 30 training to another high OVR player that you buy from market eventually. So I urge you not to waste your training on the low OVR players, but rather do the trainings later on when you get a high OVR players. Alright, so you're asking me, probably as being new to the game, what is high OVR players? I will say anyone that is above 107 OVR, you could spend some coins and training points to train those, right? So of course, when I talk about training points, I'm talking about transfers points, alright? So of course, if you're really trained, you want to transfer from low OVR to a high OVR, again, only transfer to the 107th. So once you transfer to 107, once they hit 30, you can get a high OVR of 112, alright? So that's how you should be spending your coins in this basically very profit-oriented last season of by EA and FIFA. FIFA is kicking EA out, no longer having EA. So I think that's a good point. Alright, so with that, we've completed all this. Let's move on, and definitely we were able to share more in the next video in terms of the settings, in terms of the very frustrating of the manager mode. Alright, so you can see here, manager mode, I'm really 6/7. I will share more in that context in terms of settings, so hopefully that's easier for you. Alright, so look out for the next video. I'm going to share it really soon. Just need some time to do it out. Alright, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.